So, like I said before, this is the most important class. It's like the ground brick. It's like the foundation. And if you got this class, you just gonna surf like a surfing girl right through it. It's gonna be easy peasy for you. Okay. And I'm gonna hold your hand and go through it with you. But this class is gonna be quite full. Now, if you feel like after this class you're like, oh, so much information, don't worry. Okay. The same information, we're going to do it again and again and again and again until that little, I see that in your eyes, is just going to go click. And you're going to go like, oh, I get it. Okay. All of you. All right. So you have nothing to worry about. Good. All right. But before, okay, great. Here we have Anneli and Karin, Rasvana. Rasvana, I follow your instruction with the Zoom, so I hope everything's gonna work. And
Perfect.
yeah, I'm just holding my thumb. And we got Suzanne and Anya is there.
Namaste.
Namaste. Good. I think I got everybody in there. Okay, good. Okay, so let's start with our prayers. So just 11 times for Saraswati. So you can just mute so we don't go echo. I'm Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. 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 Last one. I'm Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. Good. And then the prayer that you have in the prayer book, also in the 108 names of Saraswati, you have that on page 5, I think, if you don't know it before. So just going into that Saraswati feeling, knowing that she's there holding your hand, and make sure that you're just surfing nicely with Sanskritam, and it's fun, enjoyable. None of this kind of pressure. You're just enjoyable. Om Saraswati Namastu Vyam Varade Kamarupi Vidyarambham Karishyami Hir Bhavatu Me Sada. Good. All right. So let me just take this close. Okay. So like I said, you might heard, some of you already heard, I said this class is kind of the foundation, is the most important class. And why? Because if you get this, you basically have done the main work to be able to read and write. All right. Now, everybody who's in here, have you everybody seen the last 2 classes? Yeah, everybody? Is there anyone who hasn't watched the 2 classes? So, so we got the where is it? All right, so let's get our alphabet. Can everybody see the alphabet? Yeah, cool. Okay, Suzanne, could you please do the first 3, both hrasva and dirgha, the first 3.
You mean the gutturals or?
No, the vowels, these 3. I show you here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A, I, r.
Good. Now, good. So, and Suzanne, great. Now, notice what Suzanne did. So the first one was a, right? Now the long one, she dropped the jaw to the bottom. Now, have that as a tool. Is a great tool because then you get the length of the letter. So like, and so when you're chanting, you, as soon as you see a dirgha, drop the jaw. So because that's gonna create this length. So it doesn't go like halfway, or you're not like, is it this long or this long? It's like down. That's a long one. Okay. Now, the other thing what happens is that when you're doing this, you can even, if you drop your jaw, you notice there's a point there. If you press quite hard, it's like, you can feel it, right? Now, right? You see the movement of the jaw. Now, this is, just to let you know, this is another thing that happens when you start chanting. Because you start moving your mouth, it creates a lot of release of tension. A lot of people have, you know, the biting hard, right? Some people, they're biting so hard, so the teeth are damaged, right? Now, this is going to create release because a lot of tension is stored here. There can be some kind of trauma. So it's not unusual to suddenly have this emotional release in a chanting. And you might even see like students who start chanting because they're just holding on to so much tension. So when they start chanting, it's just like rivers and rivers, and is releasing. It's a good thing, right? But this is definitely one of them that start releasing. So good. So very good. Now the other thing that you saw Suzanne did, she did this. She pulled the long one to the side. That's another thing. So when you have a long E, pull to the side, the cheeks to the side. Good. And then we have this tricky one, right? The one that we're not so common in our mother tongue. The tongue goes back. And there you got to engage here. You got to go here. And this is going to pull. It pulls the mouth down, and it allows the tongue to go back. If you don't do that, the tongue gets almost stuck in the front. And that's why a lot of people, when they chant, they go Saraswati, Saraswati, because they don't have that the tongue doesn't go in position. Good. Okay, good. Now, Daniela, can you do the next 2 vowels? These 2?
Which? Oh, it's Oh,
L.
oh.
So you got L, you just put the tongue right there where you stop. L, 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 L.
Oh, oh.
Good. And there you got this fluting, you know, like your ooh, 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 ooh. So you really get that shortness. Ooh, and then ooh. Good.
Oh.
Mama,
Good.
you know
Now,
the thing.
we have a lot of background. I love kids, but maybe just be careful with this so we don't get too many sounds from the background. Anybody, what was the name of the short vowel or the shortness?
Haraswa.
Haraswa. Good.
Haraswa.
Haraswa. And what was the name of the long?
Swaraha. Swaraha. Dirgaha. Dirgaha.
Good.
Dirgaha.
Good. Now there was another one which was 3 or more, so even longer.
Pluta.
Good. Pluta. Good. So those are the different lengths of the letters. Good. Now, Petra, the diphthongs, what were they?
A, I, O, ow.
Good. So you notice that Petra also did, like, she did them with dirga. So they were not like A, I, O, no. A, I, O, ow, long, right? Good. Now, last class, we just started looking at, we start looking at the guttural. Now, today, we're going to play with these 2 letters. Okay. Now, what we're doing today applies to all the rest of the letters, all these letters. Okay. So it's not like what we're doing today is only for these 2, it's for all of the letters. Okay. Now, what we said last time, everybody remember this? We said that there is one thing that is in common with all these letters. Anybody remember what that was?
They all have
O
a
and with A.
With a right? They have all a short ah. You see that? It's like ka, and then you have ka, ga. They all have embedded akara, right? So we were looking at this, how if you put this, the midsummer pole, if we put the midsummer pole, can you see that? Yeah. Now here it says in transliteration underneath is here it says ka, right? If I do this 2 times, what does it say now? It said here it says ka, and here it says also ka. So together becomes Lena,
Kaka.
right? Kaka. Okay. Yeah. Now, so there's a lot of sounds coming in. All right. All right, here we go. Now, there was a line that we could put here at the end, and by doing that, we were removing the vowel, so only the consonant stands. Anybody remember the name of that line?
Virama.
Good.
Virama.
Virama, right? There is also another name that you might bump into. It's called halanta. Halanta. Now, anybody know what anta means?
like end or
end,
ending.
Inside.
end. Yeah. So you have like, for example, Vedanta, right? Anta is the end of the Veda, but Anta, and it's the end. Hal is a code. It's a code for consonants. So end of consonant. So halanta means end of consonant, or you can use this, another word is virama. So when we put a virama, we remove the vowel. So only the consonant is standing. So when we have a virama here, you see, then it says here, kak, right? Good. And then we also looked into that, but if the word starts with a vowel, then we have to use the vowel that was writing in the column, which is on the right-hand side, right? Is everybody clear with that so far? This is what we did last class. All right, good. Good. Now, let's start by looking at these two letters. Now, we have the midsummer pole, right? And that's a guttural and aspirate. Now, you're going to get two more terminologies. Now, if you look at the, you see that here it says non-aspirate, right? Now, above there, very soon you're going to be able to read this. But this above here, the terminology in Sanskritam is alpa pranaha. Can you say? Helen, can you say alpa pranaha? Oh, we can't hear you. Can you unmute, Helen? Unmute.
Alpa pranaha.
Now, tongue goes back, so it's pranaha. Pranaha.
Alpa pranaha.
Good. Good. Now, if it's aspirate, then the word is maha pranaha. Can you say, Helen?
Maha pranaha.
Good. Very good. So just put that in your cod stomach, in your terminologies. So when we're talking about the midsummer pole, we're talking about a letter that is guttural. That means that back of the throat, like think about your tongue, the back of the tongue is pressed against the back of the mouth. Ka, 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 right? Now do the same thing and put the hand in front of your mouth and do it with maha pranaha. Ka, ka. You can try one with and one without. One with alpa and one with maha. Good. So because in English you say non-aspirate. That sounds really strange. It's like you're not breathing. That doesn't make sense. In Sanskrit, alpa means less. So it's less. Maha is more, less, more. Doesn't mean that you're not breathing, because otherwise you have to have a breath. Otherwise, there's no sound coming out. Now we got the midsummer pole to play with. And then we also have the next letter, which is maha pranaha. Now, with my fantasy, please come up with a better, if you have a better fantasy or better idea, let me know. But I see this, remember in the old days when you had this like Pac-Man, I think it was called, that was like chasing a ball, this all like probably like one of the first computer game, remember those? Everybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it was kind of like chasing a ball, right? So it kind of has that similarity. So you go from the top and then you go to the side, don't let go, just do a loop. And then on the other side, you make a line and then you make this kind of pregnant belly, and then you make a line on top, and the same with the alpha. Good. Now, Rasvana, what does it say here now?
I can't see it so well with the screen share.
Let me do this instead. Maybe this is easier. 2 seconds. I'm gonna do this. Maybe this is better. Mhm. Can you see? This is much better. All right. So just to know that this font on the computer is a little bit different, but this is the second letter is it's a maha pranaha. Is that better, Rasvana? Can you see?
Yeah. Ka ka.
Good.
Ka
So
ka.
kaka, right? The first one is unaspirate and the second one is aspirate. Good. So we said that here, the first one is right. So the akara, the short a, is embedded in the letter. But now we also want to be able to say ka ka, right? We want to be able to say, unfortunately, I don't have on this computer the line on top. So this is gonna be a long, right? Everybody understand? So in the alphabet that you have, it's written with a line on top, but I don't have that on this computer. So just imagine the two A's are representing like a line on top, or a dirgha. Now, do you remember last time I said to you, the long a minus the short a, we were left with something. I said, remember this, make a note on this information. You're going to use this information very soon.
Is it one stick?
Yeah, good. There it is. Right now, you just add every time you want to add a long a with the consonant, you just add a stick. Okay, so right now, this says ka. Now, the next one here, this says ka. Right? Now, there might be someone who says, why do they do like this? I had some people saying, why do they do like this? Because we are used to that every letter, like, you know, when you're writing in English, you have every letter gets its own space. But in Sanskritam, everything gets like compact. You get like squeezed, like you add a stick, and you're going to see later also the other letters, what they're doing. Now, someone told me something when I was in India, and it clicked for me. So I'm just going to pass it on to you guys. Now, imagine 5,000 years ago, and you were sitting and you were writing on lontar. You know, you were writing on like really tiny space. You didn't have a printer. You didn't have much ink. You have to kind of save. You have to save space. So everything gets compact. So instead of writing like, you know, kakara, and then the long, you know, like the 3 with the 2 sticks, they have this, they put things together. Good. Now, Karin, what does it say here?
Let's see. Ka, ka, ka. No. Ka, ka, k.
Good. So the first one is ka. The second one, I just make a space so you can see. The second one is a long, right? Because it's carrying a stick. And then you see there's also a kakara with a virama. So it's just the consonant. Good. Now, Susanne, what does it say here? Oh, sorry. So the beautiful thing, Susanne, you just shout out if you need some help. If you say
The first one, I don't get the first one.
first one is look at your vowels.
Yeah.
And then look at the one that we said it looks like a snake.
Oh, yeah. It's the E, the E. So.
And then?
Ka, ka, k, a k at the end. Ka.
Excellent. Good. Anneli, what does it say here now?
Ukak.
Good. So just short. Ukak. Excellent. All right. All right. Now, Lena. What about? Oh, Lena, I can't hear you. You're on mute.
All right. Yeah. I don't know the first one. I'm sorry. I don't know the vowel.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Let's do it together. So look at the alphabet. So you see you have the vowels and you have the I, E. Now look at the bottom. You have the long oo. You see that?
Okay.
So the first one is I'll make it to show it's long, right?
Okay. Thank you. so it's kaka.
Yes.
Kaka. Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. All right. Great. So we know that if we want to add a long a, we only add one stick. Okay. But we also want to be able to say ki. And we want to be able to say ki. Right? We want to be able to say this and this. So if we look at the Devanagari, what we're trying to do is that we're having a kakara and then we're adding one of the snakes. I call it the snakes, the snake letter. Now, for this one, again, think about that 5,000 years ago, you're trying to save space. This takes way too much space on the lomtar, way too much. So what happens? This instead is written with a rainbow. Now, pay attention. The rainbow is, the stick is in front of the letter. And then you have the rainbow. Now, just to show you, like this font here is almost look like it's a gap there, but please don't learn from this font. Make sure that the font is touching the line all the way to the line, like just touching exactly where the midsummer pole is going up. Good. So, Anneli, what does it say? Here, just one more.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock.
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 Right? Now, same thing apply. What about if you have where is, I can't see everybody. I wish I could see. Oh, zinc. Zinc. Here, so this is the aspirate one. And I'm putting a rainbow on this one. And then I put an unaspirate. What does it say here?
Peacock.
Yes. Excellent. So the first one is this one, and the second one is this one. Good. So we know that when we're having a consonant and we're adding a E, right? Then it's a rainbow. The rainbow, the stick goes in front of the consonant. Now, what about if we want to write, if we want to have, for example, kakara? I'm putting a virama to show you. And this time, remember, this is the snail with a plume hat, right? We were saying that the snake has a plume hat to show that it's a dirgha. Now, takes way too much space, these two together. So they came up with, so I'll just show you in transliteration. So this is the kakara plus long, right? Now, here you got the rainbow, same as before, but this time the rainbow goes the other way, goes this way. Yeah. It goes forward. You see that? The stick is after. Before it was before, and now it's after. Okay. So, sun. What does it say here? Just if you need some help.
Kaki.
The first one has a rainbow, but the stick is in front of it.
So kaki.
First one is ki.
Ki. Aha. Okay.
Second one is he. So it's like together.
Ki.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
So can I ask?
Of course.
So the rainbow is always connected with the sound of E.
Exactly.
E. All right.
Exactly. So the only thing you need to, what you need to pay attention is to look at the rainbow and see if the stick, the rainbow with the stick is before or after. Because that's going to give you the information if it's a short one, if it's the hrasva, or if it's a long one, if it's a dirgha.
And the rainbow replaces the snakes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You only use the snake if it's at the beginning of the word, because then the snake doesn't have anything to latch onto. It doesn't have a consonant to latch onto. So, Lena, what does it say here? Just to get, oh, sorry.
Oh,
What does it say here? I just added a snake.
so it's a ikiki.
Ikiki.
Ikiki, sorry.
Yeah, good. Right? Careful
Yeah.
with longness and shortness. Get into those like you really like short.
Ikiki.
Ikiki. Good. All right. You're doing great. Now, any questions so far? Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You know how you say Dirga Pranayama? Is it because it's a long pranayama, like it's a long breath?
Yeah.
Is it the same? Ah, cool. Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, the word dirgha means long, and you're gonna see it popping up, like like Daniela says, it pops up in different in pranayama or different contexts. You're gonna start recognize a lot of words that comes up.
Asana.
Asana. Okay, Daniela. Now this one is, we're gonna add this one together with remember this, this one. So remember that we have the next vowel, right? So we've gone through the we did the which was embedded in the consonant. Then we did the a, which we added a stick. And then we went down to the snake, and we said that if it's a short one, it's a rainbow with the stick in front of the consonant. And if it's a long one, the same rainbow applies, but this time the stick goes after, right? Everybody with me? So now we're going one step down. Now we're looking at that funny letter, the one that is hr. Now this is a short one, right? Now this becomes, remember I told you that I said, make a note that we call this one a C-shaped earring, right? The reason why I call it C-shaped is because it's easier to remember that the way to put now at the bottom, you see this here is the vowel. It's been put at the bottom. So Daniela, what does it say here? Oh, I can add one more there.
I think the C shape is a R, so it's gonna be like krkak.
Just short one. Krkak.
Krkak.
Good.
Okay.
Everybody following? You're doing great. All right. So Helen, what does it say here now? Let's go between the lines. All right, you're gonna get a tricky one. just Helen, just take it slowly, and we will help you.
Ukrakak.
Good. So first you have the vowel, and then you have the kakara with the har. All right, I do this one so you can see. And then the next one is the ka, and the other one is the aspirate. And then the last one has the virama, which means that, right. Good. Excellent. Now, this fellow